The Conspiracy of Christianity, Part 2. Let's begin by noting that Easter is a movable feast, which means the time of the celebration of Easter alternates between the months of March and April. Future dates of Easter prove its unstable, non-biblical origin. In 2017, Easter will be April the 16th. In 2018, Easter will be April the 1st. In 2019, Easter will be April the 21st. In 2020, Easter will be April the 12th. In 2021, Easter will be April the 4th. In 2022, Easter will be April the 17th. In 2023, Easter will be April the 9th. In 2024, Easter will be March the 31st. In 2025, Easter will be April the 20th. And in 2026, Easter will be April the 5th. This is a sure sign of the inconsistency of a celebration falsely connected to Messiah, whom the Christian world calls Jesus Christ, this guy, who falsely rose from the grave on Sunday morning. Logically speaking, do you alternate the celebration of your birthday from year to year? For instance, is your birthday in the month of January, then in the month of February the next year, then back to the month of January the following year? Kind of silly when you think about it that way. Yet when it comes to the resurrection of Messiah, Constantine and his Roman councils of the 4th century AD decreed the Easter observance to be in sync with the vernal equinox. There are two equinoxes, one in March and the other in September. Equinox is an astronomical event when the Earth's plane passes directly through the sun. The effects are that day and night are presumed to be the same length. In other words, the duration of night and day are presumed to be equal all over the planet. This astronomical phenomenon marks the beginning of spring, and in Constantine's mind was a fitting time to tag the resurrection of Messiah. In connection with the vernal equinox is the worshiping of the sun. Hence, the resurrection of Messiah is associated with the so-called Sunday observance, or Sunday resurrection. This pagan resurrection is totally, unquestionably false. In the Gospel of Matthew chapter 12 and verse 40, Messiah himself declared that his sacrificial death would result in him being buried in the heart of the earth for 3 days and 3 nights. For as Jonas was 3 days and 3 nights in the whale's belly, so shall the Son of Man be 3 days and 3 nights in the heart of the earth. Obviously, 3 days and 3 nights cannot be calculated from the so-called Good Friday sunset to early Sunday morning to fulfill Matthew chapter 12, verse 40. Traditional Christianity swear to this process beginning with the so-called Good Friday through Easter Sunday morning. The entire practice of 40 days of Lent, Good Friday, and Easter Sunday morning was instituted by ancient Roman Catholicism. Ancient Rome is actually Christianity, and Christianity is ancient Rome in scope, belief, and practice. The fulfillment of Matthew chapter 12, verse 40 will look more like the example in this chart, giving you a Wednesday or 4th day of the week crucifixion and a Saturday or 7th day of the week resurrection. When Sunday arrived, or 1st day of the week, Messiah was already risen on the day before, the Sabbath day, making his resurrection totally in line with the scriptures. The Sabbath represents the day of rest as declared by Elohim himself. 6 days may work be done, but in the 7th is the Sabbath of rest, holy to the Lord. Exodus chapter 31, verse 15. Not only did Messiah finish the work of the redemption of the world, he rested from his work as indicated by rising on the Sabbath day. Just as the Father rested after 6 days of his creative work of the earth, and on the 7th day God ended his work which he had made, and he rested on the 7th day from all his work which he had made. Genesis chapter 2, verse 2. Messiah rose on the Sabbath having defeated death, hell, the grave, and the powers of darkness. In the world ye shall have tribulation, but be of good cheer. I have overcome the world. John's Gospel, chapter 16, verse 33. This was a prophetic statement of Messiah because he had not yet been crucified, but predicted his complete victory over the powers of darkness and the kingdom of hell. We can clearly see by the chart that Messiah was crucified according to the scriptures before sunset, the ninth hour, being 3 p.m., when he cried out, Eli, Eli, lama sabachthani. Matthew chapter 27, verse 46. The first day in the heart of the earth would be Thursday, or the fourth day of the week. The first day would correspond with Leviticus chapter 23 as a holy convocation. The second day would be Friday, or the sixth day of the week. Subsequently, the third day would be Saturday, or the seventh day of the week, being the Sabbath day. Messiah's work was complete and stamped by the Most High's approval by raising Yeshua HaMashiach on the Sabbath day. This fulfillment of Scripture completely fits with Matthew chapter 12, verse 40. On the first day of the week, early in the morning, Messiah did not rise. He was already risen. Behold the Scriptures. In the end of the Sabbath, as it began to dawn toward the first day of the week, came Mary Magdalene and the other Mary to see the sepulchre. Matthew chapter 28, verse 1. And when the Sabbath was past, and very early in the morning, the first day of the week, they came unto the sepulchre at the rising of the sun. Mark chapter 16, verse 1 and 2. Now upon the first day of the week, very early in the morning, they came unto the sepulchre, and they found the stone rolled away from the sepulchre. Luke chapter 24, verse 1 and 2. The first day of the week cometh Mary Magdalene early, when it was yet dark, unto the sepulchre, and seeth the stone taken away from the sepulchre. John chapter 20, verse 1. The four Gospels are the only true record we have of Messiah's resurrection, and neither records say he rose on the first day of the week, Sunday. What the record shows is when the women arrived very early in the morning, they noticed Messiah was not in the tomb. Matthew and Mark make it clear the Sabbath is the point of reference. In the end of the Sabbath, Messiah himself made reference to the prophet Jonas being in the belly of the whale 3 days and 3 nights. For as Jonas was 3 days and 3 nights in the whale's belly, so shall the Son of Man be 3 days and 3 nights in the heart of the earth. Matthew chapter 12, verse 40. Matthew chapter 12 and verse 40 is the truth of Messiah's internment in the confines of hell to fulfill the word of God, not to perpetrate a pagan Easter celebration filled with pagan roots like Easter eggs, hot cross buns, rabbits, and all the other conspiratorial events leading up to the secular ancient Roman Catholicism Easter Sunday. We know that Sunday, or the first day of the week, Sunday being associated with the day of the sun, has no significance to the resurrection of Messiah or the creative work of the Most High. Easter Sunday is pure paganism decreed by Constantine, the so-called Great, in the year 325 AD. From the year 325 AD until now, Christianity has been hijacked and infiltrated with worldly ideas and concepts, eclectic with its practices from a wide source of religions, mixed together by the ancient Roman Emperor Constantine, the so-called Great, and served to religious political Pharisees of Satan's kingdom. Easter is not a feast of the Most High, rather a smorgasbord of ungodliness and evil made to look and sound harmless from the pit of hell itself. Easter, or Estere, or Aphrodite, or Ashtoreth, or Ishtar is clearly the work of the enemy, the wolf in sheep clothing. Wherefore, come out from among them, and be ye separate, saith the Lord, and touch not the unclean thing, and I will receive you. 2 Corinthians chapter 6, verse 17.
This is H.S. Yaakov, his bondservant and watchman. Shalom wa barawak ak wa akwath. always to the esteem of the Most High, Elohim, Yah.